Life in the beginning seemed like it was spiraling downwards. I had so many addictions. I was addicted to pornography. I was sleeping around. My house was broken. There was constant fights in my house. It just seemed like there was no way out for me. You know, I was failing in my studies. I had no future. I had no prospects. I had no plan for my life. And it just seemed like, you know, hell just broke loose in my house, and there was just no other way for me to go than to continue the life that I was living. But then I had a friend who actually showed me that there was hope. He believed in me. Someone believed in me. And honestly speaking, before then, I didn't have no vision of hope. I didn't believe that something good can happen. Until when he gave me an opportunity, you know, he gave me advice and told me that, you know, my life could actually move forward, and that the life that I was living wasn't the life that I didn't have to live that kind of life. So today, I'm no longer addicted to pornography. My family's restored. My future's looking brighter. I'm not failing in my studies anymore, but I'm actually doing really well.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Now, on tonight's topic, or tonight's program I should say, we are talking about overcoming temptations. Now, we are all tempted. Each one of us are tempted in various ways. So I know that there's the obvious temptations. Some of you may be tempted by, you know, eating that extra biscuit when you shouldn't. Maybe you're tempted by, you know, another cigarette, smoking. You've been tempted. That's how it started off. And now you are a heavy smoker. You were tempted one day to drink, and maybe you were brought up in a household where it was taught that that was wrong. It was wrong to smoke. It was wrong to take drugs. But one day you started doing it. Maybe you started drinking for fun. Maybe you started smoking with your friends. But now that has turned into an addiction, something that you cannot control. And it's got to a point where you wish you could stop. You want to stop. You know it's wrong for you, but you just can't. Maybe you've had family members who have died because of failed liver, because of an addiction to alcohol. But yet, you've turned the same way, or you're heading in that direction, and you can't stop. Maybe you've had people who have, in your family and friends that you know, who have died of lung cancer. But yet, you are smoking yourself, and you don't know what to do. So, that's the obvious ones: the drinking, the smoking. Maybe you've been tempted to have sex, and now you have a sex addiction. It's controlling you to the point where you are cheating on your partner, or you are single, but sex is controlling your life. We are all tempted, and sometimes what seems innocent in the beginning turns out to be something that basically physically hurts you, physically, emotionally, mentally. You have become this withdrawn person. Maybe you are very happy on the outside, but within, you know, it's like a dark secret that you have. Maybe you have a relative who may be going through the same thing, and you're watching this program, and you would like to find out how to help this person, how to help your loved one, how to help that best friend of yours. So stay tuned, because we're going to help you. We're going to teach you how to overcome temptations. Let's have a look at this quick video to explain tonight's topic.
Temptation could be substance abuse, such as alcohol abuse, drug abuse, overeating, or cheating on your partner. Some people find it difficult to ignore such temptations because they believe the rewards of such behaviours are more pleasant than not giving in to such temptations. But are we just covering up emptiness in our life? Should we ignore temptation and try to find the root cause of our emptiness? Is this possible? Temptation is the promise of reward. It may be that we are finding ways to help us feel better. We seek relief from feeling bad, and the brain is primed to help us learn where we can find such escape. We may try products to help us relieve emotional pain, the same as we would physical pain. But resisting temptation can be very challenging for some. Recent neuroscience reveals that the brain even adds pain to things that were previously pleasurable, to push us to get what our bodies want. So when temptation is activated in the brain, it induces a biological process that not only turns on the pleasure response, but also the physiological stress response. Even companies who want to sell us their goods through tempting us use the implicit practice of accentuating the positive aspects of what they are selling. This process is called supernormal stimuli, and it is key to enticing action by creating the stress of desire. They create a fear of missing out. This is a trigger to incite the pain of temptation. People may be more likely to give into temptation to cover up a void in their life. Taking substances or taking part in other tempting pastimes may just be a distraction technique to forget the real you. But this will only ever be temporary. Take some time to understand the real you and find the root cause of any void in your life. Once you face up to this void, you will be able to take control of your life and overcome temptation.
So stay tuned, because if you are finding it difficult to overcome a temptation, stay with us, because on tonight's program, my guest for this evening was actually committed adultery. And you're going to find out the reason why he did that, what led him to do that thing. And maybe you are tempted to commit adultery. You're tempted to cheat on your partner. Maybe you are tempted to say one more lie again to get yourself out of trouble. Just that one white lie. But you know, lying has got to a point where you don't know that lie from what's the truth. And it's killing you. You are hurting inside. And you want to break free from that. You want to start your life over again, free. You can do that. And here on Finding Answers, we are here to try to help you to be free, to find that answer. All right? With me is Victoria. Hi, Victoria. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
Now, you were just explaining about that what is it called?
The supernormal stimuli.
So explain to the viewers at home exactly what that means.
So supernormal stimuli is when a company or somebody who wants to sell you something will get inside your head, because what actually happens, and what the video just explained, is when you find pleasure in something, for example, shopping for a handbag, you will then get pleasure from it. Your brain will release a neurotransmitter called dopamine, and that gives us the pleasure sensation. But what happens next is when you then see another handbag and you can't instantly have it, your body will produce pain. So you will then want to more go out and buy the handbag. But companies that are, for example, selling the handbags will cash in on this. So what they'll do is in adverts and in shop windows, they'll make the handbag look amazing, like that you will not be able to live your life properly if you don't have the handbag. And they just make it super normal so that you really want it, so it looks like it's normal, but there's something special about it and actually triggers a pain response inside you.
Right. So obviously they pay advertising companies millions of pounds to study human behavior, to get inside of us, to actually hurt, so that we can go and buy that product. And normally when you do get the product, eventually when you do get that handbag, it's like, I've got it now. Now it's gone. It's over with.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a come down, actually. Yeah, if you've been waiting for something for an awfully long time, you've really been looking forward to it, then you actually get it. sometimes the feeling isn't quite as exactly as exciting as you thought it would be.
Right, and maybe that's what you have felt when you were tempted to do something wrong. You were tempted to steal, you were tempted to lie, you were tempted to sleep around. You were tempted to do something that you know is wrong. How do I overcome that temptation? If you are going through this, what we're explaining to you now, if you know someone who's going through this same thing and it's hurting you seeing that person going through what they're going through. Maybe your relative is somewhere else in the house now or sitting beside you. Yeah, you're looking up now and you're thinking, what? Yes, we're offering you help. We're offering you a way to overcome this addiction, this problem that started off, as I said, as one day being fun with friends, something innocent, but now it's gotten so serious, you're living in hell, basically. So, Victoria, what are the contact details that they can give us a call if you want to speak live on air or if they want to speak to an advisor off air?
So if you'd like to speak to anybody at all, then give us a call. The number is 020 7686 6300, or you can send us an email. We can reply to you, or I can read that out live on air right now. The email address is help@findinganswers.tv, or if you'd like to speak to us via social media, then just send us a tweet. Just start your tweet with @FindAnswersTV, or you can follow us on Facebook. Just search for Finding Answers.
I know this topic can be, a sensitive topic. So if you want to remain anonymous, that's no problem. You don't have to lie. You can say my name is Mr. M, right? M for Michael. So you can give us a call and so we can help you, where we can. All right? So stay tuned because after the break, you're going to meet a man who cheated on his wife. And it wasn't just as simple as you may assume. We'll see you after this break.
The Chrissy B Show airs live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, coming to your homes with entertainment, life issues as well as hard-hitting topics, coupled with friendly and practical advice. I love to look at the happier side of life and believe a person can achieve amazing things when they put their mind to it. The Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, tonight's topic is overcoming temptations. Now, when you think of the word temptation, you may associate that word with God, sin, punishment, hell and damnation, everything to do with something religious. But I want to, it does have those connotations, but it's something that I want to kind of address before we go deep into the subject. It's not something that you should feel bad about. I mean, you may be going through a problem, but if you want to overcome that problem, there's no point beating yourself up about it. There's no point you condemning yourself, right? Because God doesn't condemn. God gives us a chance, opportunities many times, because he is merciful, he is forgiving, and he wants to help you, right? So don't think that, your life is condemned because of what you are doing, and there's no way out, because there is a way out. So tonight's guest is Julien. You're going to meet him now, and he's going to share with us his story.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Tony, I said Julien, didn't I? But your first name is Tony.
It's Tony, yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I know that there are people who wouldn't come and speak about this openly, but today you are a changed man.
I am.
Right?
Absolutely.
So like I mentioned, that you cheated on your wife.
I sure did, yes.
Right? And you don't say that boastfully. It's a mistake that happened. But back then there was a reason. Which we're not justifying, because it's wrong, and we don't condone anyone to do that. But you are here to share your story and hopefully help other people who may be stuck, maybe in a similar situation, or maybe they're being tempted in another way. So you cheated on your wife, and who was that with?
One of our best friends, a lady that's
So a friend of the family.
a friend of the family, yes.
Okay. And how long was that relationship going on for?
Well, it started behind my wife's back 2 years before,
Right.
for 2 years. And then it became I left her for a whole year.
Right.
So say about 3
To be
years.
with this other
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And it started like that, which could have been avoided, but the temptation was too great to resist.
Right. Now, let's go to the beginning, because
Okay.
it wasn't just you. It wasn't your action, because things happened before that.
Before that, yes.
So tell us how did things start, and which led on to you cheating on your wife?
We had a perfect marriage in the beginning. So from there, everything was rosy, And then we kind of like drifted apart when a family came over to stay in our house for a little while. The first time everything was perfect, we didn't mind, and we shared our house with them for about a year the first time. Then the second...
Family
Yeah.
invited themselves or asked you if
Yes,
they
they came
stay?
over. Yeah, they came over from back home, and they came over, and they stayed longer in our house.
So initially, how long were they meant to stay in the home?
Well, 6 months the most.
6 months?
6 months, yes. But
But
it
it turned
went
out
over.
how long?
Yeah, but the first time was about a year and a half, if I remember right, a year and a half.
Right.
And then things started cracking up by then, because my wife was helping her family a little bit.
Right.
And I would come home from work, and I'd be a bit like, so tired, and my house would be full of people as well.
Right.
So that put a bit of strain onto the marriage. And
So in other words, your wife was giving, is it her family?
her family,
Her
yes.
family attention,
Yes,
but the attention was overboard, because as husband and wife,
yes,
it's, you're coming to you're the king of the castle. You're coming home and you want your queen there,
yes.
right? You want that time together. And as you said, initially it was 6 months, but it turned out to be a year and a half.
Yes, so that can bring a bit of strain as well.
Right. So what kind of things were going on that it put a strain on the marriage?
Well, things like because we had to give a master bedroom to the guests, something like that, and
you mean you gave your bedroom to
yes,
the family?
That's right. Yeah, so we sit downstairs on the sofa bed.
Really?
Yes, and that's quite like. And then I could have to go to work in the morning. Obviously, there was no passion between me and my wife, because obviously, that kind of like drift away.
So both you and your wife were sleeping on the sofa?
That's right, yeah.
And I'm assuming
exactly
your sofa, how big was your sofa to accommodate both of you?
Well, it was a two-seater, so you could sleep 2 people on it, and we're quite pretty as well, so it was handy. But that's relevant. But there wasn't the love between my wife and myself. It seems to be like to drift away, because the tension. Are you with me? So there's got to be a tension around. So we can't like say, oh, if I couldn't argue with my wife in front of her parents.
Right.
And then like.
So you kept basically the tension was
that's
building
right,
up
would build it
inside
up.
of you.
That's right, yeah.
And it would build up.
It'll build up.
Did at any time that exploded, maybe in front of everyone or just with you and your wife?
Yeah, it would have, yes. Yeah, it's a few times it happens. Like if we go to a party, and then we have a disagreement, we'll come back home driving and we'll argue in the car. Argument. So that then when we get back in, we'll stop the argument. So we don't want to argue in front of them. You with me?
So you played happy family.
We played happy family. And there was time when I felt I was paying attention to my wife, you know, like buying her flowers, all that nice gesture. But deep down, I wasn't. We were drifting so far away. And she felt I wasn't paying her no compliment at all. There was time myself, we would cross the staircase like a total strangers.
Really, you wouldn't speak to each other?
Yeah, we wouldn't speak. Sometimes the argument would go like for, say, a week, and we wouldn't argue we wouldn't talk to each other.
Did her parents suspect anything?
I think they knew what was going on, but because we played such a way that a deceiving marriage, pretended in front of people we were like, you know, push and begs, but behind closed door, me and her had issues.
So did it affect you? I mean, your relationship, for example. How long wouldn't you speak for?
Like I said, sometime like a week.
A week without speaking to your wife?
Yes, like you know, we would sort of like look at each other like that. I'd be sitting on this side of the sitting room, and she'd be on the other side of the city.
Right.
And just like eye contact. You want this? Your dinner is here. And you know, I would be like quite aggressive as well.
Who would be aggressive?
Me.
Right.
I'd be quite aggressive.
In what way?
In what way? Like because I wanted to like I don't know, punish her or hurt her in a way. You know, so what I do is I will get things that will bang it on the table, you know, or if I try to wash the dishes, I'll make it, you know, get the pans, I will bang it inside the sink. I had to laugh because it sounds funny now, but at the time it wasn't funny because it was like a serious matter. I would bang things down and then, you know, and I would drive fast on the road.
So where did this lead to, this year and a half? What happened?
But yeah, and it leads to disaster completely. And then when I went back home, things wasn't too good. And then I found out that we are so far away. The marriage is broken. You know, there was no commitment at all. And I found out that she cheated on me.
You found out how did you find out that your wife cheated on you?
But one day I was wondering why, you know, like she was always hiding her phone. So I decided to get her phone. And maybe I was tempted as well. So I checked her phone and I see some of the messages on her phone.
And what kind of things did you see on the text messages?
Things like, you know, like I can't meet you today because Tony's coming round to meet me.
Oh, that was from your wife?
Yeah.
Right.
To whoever. Are you with me? And then things like she would put the phone be ringing in silence during the night.
Right.
Then she would pick it up and then, you know.
So while you were there, sleeping together, it would ring, and what? She would pick it up and go into another room to answer it?
Sometimes she would, yeah.
Okay.
And then I thought, okay, then one day...
So didn't you assume something's going wrong?
Well, I did.
Did you approach her there and then? Or?
No, I didn't. That's why I left it like that. And then one day, she went some places in a nightclub, and something happened. And I confronted her, because my son told me that there were certain things going on.
So even the children?
Yeah, my son.
Suspected something?
My son. They went with her. So I went to pick my son up Marsway Hill, down the Broadway, and we came back. I asked her. She said to me, "No, this is just it was nothing. It's just a friend." Then that Saturday, I keep asking her what it was, and then eventually she told me about this guy.
Right.
She confronted me. Really, now and then I should have said like, enough is enough, let it go, but I didn't.
Why? Why didn't you say something there and then? Because she
cheated, yes, but she confessed. Because she confessed, and maybe it was a shock. And cause I remember when she told me that we were there, coming shopping from Green, we was coming up from the car lot, and then she told me that, I should have chucked her out of the car, really. But deep, something inside of me didn't. I don't know. We went home and we sat down and we...
Tell me, what was the atmosphere like in the house when you sat down there after she broke the news to you?
Yeah, it was hard. It wasn't, there was something like, when you lost someone, they've gone away, the pain, the sorrow. It was like that. Everything that was on TV was just a blur. There was a dark cloud over my house. And
there was a dark cloud anyway, but it got worse.
It got worse. And part of me still loved her. Maybe that's why I didn't let go. But I persevered for about 2 or 3 years.
What do you mean by that? For 2 or 3 years, what
2 or
did
3
you do?
years, let this be a bygone.
All right. So
Okay.
you forgave her?
Yeah, in a way.
In a way?
In a way. But when the way I don't use the word in a way is because maybe it was like a master plan I had behind me in my mind. Maybe I wanted to teach her a lesson. Or, teach her a lesson.
Okay. We can see where this is going, right? So we're gonna hear the how you kind of got revenge.
Yes.
Right? And if you feel this way, if you're going through something similar and you are being tempted, maybe not tempted to cheat on your partner, but maybe you're tempted to do something else. Maybe you're quite young and there's that girl or that boy who is enticing you, to sleep with them. And maybe you're gonna, it's your chance to lose your virginity, for example. Think about it. Just because everyone else is doing it, it doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean because society says it's normal to sleep with someone at a young age that you've got to do it. There are consequences to it. So we want you to think before you actually go ahead and do something you may later on regret. All right? Stay tuned, because after the break, you're going to hear how Tony, what he did to get back on his wife. We'll see you after this.
Once upon a time, there was Alice. She enjoyed a drink, her one simple pleasure. She could stop when she wanted, downing a little more for good measure. At work, concealed bottles and extra strong mints were the game. The warm, happy feeling was fading and giving way to shame. The months and days became a blur of hospital lights. Married to a heavy drinker, her prince was charming, apart from the violence, arguments and fights. On the kitchen floor, she comes to. She hears, "Mum, this is hurting me more than it's hurting you." The alcohol was plentiful, but had dried up all the laughter. She sat alone and pondered, can I really have a happily ever after? Living with an addiction is no fairy tale, but a life with addictions is a story that can be rewritten. Addiction Cleansing Therapy. If you are struggling with any type of addiction, speak to us on our 24-hour helpline. Call 020 7686 6000 or head to addictioncleansingtherapy.org to watch the true stories of regular people like Julie who took action to beat their addictions. Act for change.
What would you do if you had to protect a great treasure? If the answer is obvious when it comes to material wealth, it should be even more obvious when the treasure is greater: your marriage. In Bulletproof Marriage, the couple Renato and Cristiane Cardoso offer solid guidance to those who appreciate the value of their relationship and want to shield it against the risk of divorce. Besides their years of counselling thousands of couples, Renato and Cristiane present the hugely successful TV show The Love School, as well as marriage courses around the world. In over 2 decades, they have lived in 3 countries and have given hundreds of talks in more than 30 countries. Speaking from their long and sometimes troubled marriage experience, the couple offer practical tips to protect current and future relationships. To order your book online or for more information on the Love School Event 2014, visit our site, theloveschoolevent.com. This event was brought to you by the UCKG Help Centre.
So, maybe you're thinking about making some big changes or setting some ambitious goals for yourself. Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds or read through the Bible. Maybe you want to run a marathon or repair a broken relationship. Whatever your big goal is, the temptation is to expect to go straight from here to here, or from here to here. The reality is, there are a lot of small steps between big decisions and big results. Challenges and obstacles await. At some point, you might even want to quit. But stand firm. Don't be disappointed with slow progress. Don't be overwhelmed by the destination. Rather, focus on what you can do today. Skip dessert. Read a chapter. Go for a run. Make a phone call. The more difficult the journey, the more rewarding the destination. And it can all start today with just one small step.
Hello and welcome back to Finding Answers. Tonight our topic is overcoming temptation. So we've been talking to the general public and asking them, how do you think people can overcome temptation?
Definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and family as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
We all have temptations, but how exactly do we overcome it? I'm finding out from the streets of London. Let's see what they say. How do you think people can overcome temptation?
I believe that religion could play a very important part, because teaching the Bible and things like that, and then God is a way. I just believe that self-strength as well.
Temptation's a difficult one. Once again, it's innate. It's within you, and you have to have some very strong willpower, especially if it's, I don't know, of a difficult nature. But I think myself, I can overcome temptation quite well.
Be yourself and believe in yourself and be confident.
They can overcome temptations by self-assurity, confidence in one's values and their own opinions, and I think that's how they can do it.
Welcome back, and before we go to hear Tony's story, how he cheated on his wife, I think we've got a Skype call, someone who'd like to share their story with us. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm alright. It's Erica from Manchester.
So your name is?
Erica.
Erica. So, and you're
Yeah.
calling from?
Manchester.
Manchester. So you've got a story to tell regarding this topic about overcoming temptations?
Yes.
Okay, would you like to share with us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Basically, first of all, I grew up in a family with a lot of complications. I started drinking from very young age, and then I end up sleeping around. So I faced a lot of temptations until being delivered from all of these things.
Mm-hmm. So you were drinking? You drank
Yeah.
from a young age?
Uh-huh.
And because of that, you started sleeping around?
Yes. I start to hang around with a lot of boys. I end up going to relationships that they just at the end of all relationships, just all of them, they just leave me without any explanation, without a reason. They just say at the end, I don't need you anymore, I don't want you anymore.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you at the time when this started to happen?
The broken relationship starts when I was 13, from the very young age, like 13 until my 22.
So for 9 years, around 9 years,
Yes.
this happened. And how did you feel within you, at such a young age going through this? Did you think that this was how life was meant to be for you?
Definitely. First of all, I thought that was normal because I saw my parents, I saw my aunties, everyone in my family, my sister going through the same situation. For me, it was normal until I come to the church, until I see that there is another type of life apart from that. For me, it was all right. I thought that suffering, having like broken relationships, being like addicted to alcohol or dependent in alcohol was normal.
Right. So you just mentioned there you got help by going to church.
Yes, definitely, because I couldn't handle by my own.
Okay. So what kind of help did you get by going to church?
I received like prayers. I was counseled all the time. I was listening to what I was told. I was applying all these kind of things.
Mm-hmm. So what were you told? I mean, because I keep on mentioning this, that there are people that think that church is you sit in a service and you are preached at, and you are told, if you believe and you do this, you're going to heaven. If you don't believe and follow it, you're going to hell. Is that what you heard, or did you hear something practical, something to help you?
Yeah, definitely. I've heard that if I want to change, it's got to be now. It's all in my hands. If I want to change my life, I can do it. I just need to trust. First, I just need to trust and obey.
Right.
Do you understand? Just be obedient. And wherever I was listening, wherever I was receiving from the church, I just had to obey. Right. And from every time, every little bit, I was changing, I was moving forward, I was seeing the difference in my character, in everything in my life, but I had to trust. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about going to hell or heaven, it was about just me at that point, at that moment.
When people say obey, it's like, they forced you to do what they said, but I think it's more that you needed direction. You needed a way out. So the advice, am I assuming that the advice that they gave to you, you needed advice. You needed direction, how to do things, guidance, in other words. Yeah, am I right in saying that?
Of course, I had to need the direction. First of all, because when I came, I didn't understand anything about God, about the Spirit of God. I didn't understand completely anything. I was just me. I was living without a purpose in my life. I was just me. I was depressed as well because of that, because of all the problems that I had. So I needed a direction. Mm-hmm. And one thing stick to my mind was that no matter what I have, even if I change to that moment, even if I change now, if I don't have the presence of God, nothing will. Sooner or later, I will lose it. Mm-hmm. So I've learned that even if I want to change, I need to find the presence of God as well, and I need to obey. Mm-hmm. So this was what was sticking in my mind, that obey.
Yes.
Not obey the church, not obey the pastor, no, but obey God.
Obey the direction, right?
Yes.
So
follow the direction.
By obeying the advice, by following the advice that you were told, how are you today?
Oh, today I'm much different. I'm a completely different person. I'm very happy. I don't depend in alcohol, as I was saying. Like I don't depend to go out. I don't depend in boys. I don't depend in anything. I don't depend like to be with my family to make me happy. I just happy with my own. In my own way, I'm happy. I'm happy with myself.
Yes, you learn to value yourself.
Definitely, I learned to value myself.
Okay. Erica, thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you, bye.
So, if you have a story to tell, all right, why not share it with us? right, related to the topic, or future programs. If you like to share, how your life turned around with the help of prayer, with the help of positive people, with the help of God, then you are free to do so. All right. So let's go back to Tony's story. So Tony, you cheated, or your wife cheated on you.
Yes.
Now let's get back. We don't have much time. You, holding all the sin, you eventually started cheating on her.
That's right.
So, with the news of your wife cheating on you, what did you start doing?
Eventually, after many years, after, like I said, 3 years after, I couldn't hold on to this trust.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to pay her the compliment, returning what she did to me.
Return the favor.
Yes, in a big way. And
but before you do it, did you didn't look for any help, like counselling or anything like that?
No, I didn't. No.
So you kept that within you, eating you up inside.
That's it. Yeah, I was confined in with the lady friend in the family.
Right.
So she knew the story, what was going on, and the one I was confined in.
She was the shoulder to cry on.
That's right. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I found myself leaning deeper towards her. And my wife had no idea what was going on. And I used to invite this lady for dinner nearly every Saturday in my house. We'll go to her place for dinner.
Both of you?
Yes.
You go to her place?
Yes, we'll go out to restaurants and eat and places.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, then one day I decided to, I don't know, this voice in my ears was saying like, why don't you tell her how you feel? And every time I would text it.
Tell her how you feel about her?
Yes.
Or about what's going on regarding the whole situation?
No, tell her how I feel about
her.
About her.
Right.
And every time I write the text and I would delete it. But one day I couldn't.
You were tempted.
That's right, yeah.
And you knew deep down that was wrong.
I knew
because
deep down.
You know what it could lead to.
Yes.
But you deleted it and then you tried again.
I tried again. I just couldn't get away. I couldn't get away from it. The more I resisted, the stronger the temptation become.
Right.
Nighttime, I gotta say, nighttime I would think about this lady for no reason. And I think my wife started saying to me like, you've seen the days. So anyway, long story short, I did send a text.
Right.
And I thought the lady would be upset with me, but she called me back. And she said to me, we can't do this because we've got children involved. And I said, I said to her, I thought about this already. I'm ready to pay the consequences of the situation.
Really?
Yes. And to tell the truth, I wasn't even ready for what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be a fling. That's it.
What was her reply?
Okay.
So you eventually met up?
Yeah, we met up one day. I said to my wife I was going to go out with my friends at work. That's the beginning of the lies, deceiving start taking place. And I was drawing further now. The marriage seems like I didn't want to be married anymore.
Yeah.
And I just want to be with this other lady. And then I carry on. We see each other, hiding our love affair,
How long did that go on for?
Like I said, about 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yes, hiding it. It wasn't easy though, because to balance two ladies, two women on, and it's not easy.
Did you actually kind of make up with your wife at that time? So you said you were kind of balancing two relationships.
Yes, I was pretending I was happy with her. I would come home and I say, hello darling, okay, fine, love you.
So you'd be with your wife,
yeah,
but also be with this other woman.
Exactly.
But how did you feel inside?
Part of me, when I was on the cheated side with the mistress, the lady, I was happy, but my mind was thinking about at home.
Right.
And then when I was at home
with your wife,
with my wife, and
you'll be thinking about the other
one.
one.
It was like that. And now I feel a bit sick as well, because I know that what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
That the lady said, Erica said about, we know the truth about God. But I kind of know that what I was doing was wrong. But I could not stop myself from going that direction. I couldn't resist that temptation.
What seemed fun and dangerous,
yes,
when you actually fell into temptation, now is like a dangerous game now. Now it's like,
yes,
I've done it now. Now you felt uneasy.
Yeah, uneasy.
There
because
was that pain.
Yeah, because I know that for a fact, because there was a lot of family involved.
Yeah.
My brothers and my sisters, and I know that the truth will come out. When it does come out, it will be an explosion.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Please, we don't have much time. I would like to know from you, how did you get the help? Because today you are back with your wife.
I am.
You are both happy.
Yes.
Please tell us, how did you get the help?
Eventually, I left my wife, by the way, on Valentine week, 2009, and I returned back. I don't know how. I returned back to her 2010, Valentine week. I don't know how, but it happens. I was on my way going to work, doing a job in Chinford, and then I saw one of my friends, and I stopped over and I told her what happened, what my life is going on. And she goes to me, oh, you know what? You can get help from the help center. I said to her, the truth is, for me, I need not the help. I ain't got the money to go pay people for advice. I don't have that. She goes, no, you don't need to pay money. These people, you'll be surprised with you. So she gave me some leaflets. She goes, come with me to the center on Sunday.
So this is what, the church as well?
The church, yes. And because I was a Catholic, I was going to church anyway. So I said, okay, then what have I got to lose, but all to gain? So I told my wife that I was going to go, because I already moved in by then. And I was still, by the way, I was still seeing the lady as well. Once I moved back, I was still seeing her. That's why this place really helped me. I went on Sunday, and I went in. I was quite amazed what I saw.
What help did you get there?
It's the way the preaching. That was the way the person spoke. He said, when you do things sometime in life, it wasn't about temptation, but it was a different topic. But he said, like, you had to stop within yourself. You got to change your ways before you start changing other people. So I sat down on the seat. I said, wow, did somebody record my life yesterday and give it to him?
So what he said, everything that he said was like about your life?
About my life. So I was like, whoa, where does that come from? Because I was standing, because maybe it's me, because I was for like other people was I for. I was too perfect to be wrong.
Tell me the one advice that changed your life around.
Yeah, the one advice is like, don't point fingers at people.
That's what it was.
Yeah, you have to look.
So you're pointing at your wife, blaming her. But you were just as guilty.
I was just as guilty. So then, like they always say, wake up and smell the coffee. And he goes, things like, like you cannot blame everybody else, and it takes two wrong to make it right.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
Right.
So I have to cut you. Sorry. With the, when you found that out, that information, how long did it take for you to kind of get back on track, for you to be happy?
It didn't take me long, actually, because the first thing I did when I went home, I told my wife about this place. So I said, you have to come with me, because I couldn't do it on my own. I need her, because we're both wrong. So I could, you go, come, But she saw when I went back in that day, she saw a different person, because when you're glowing, like, this place is amazing. So she came with me that following Sunday. And then we participated in some seminar what they had at that place called Love School. We went there, and what the teacher was telling us was exactly the opposite we were doing. So we had to sort of do the right way, and we start taking in. One Saturday we sat down, the boys was outside. I said, write at my thoughts, and then I write your thoughts. I must have wrote about 6-8 lines. She wrote about 10 pages, front and back. I said, wow, you did pay attention then, Then I realized that, sometimes I had to calm down myself. And
so you had to look at each other's
you have
to look at your faults, your mistakes.
That's right,
you have to look at hers.
Yeah, we had to look inside the mirror.
Yeah.
You had that two-way mirror, within and outside.
So tell us, how is the marriage today?
Today, I've got to say, we'll celebrate 28 years of marriage last August.
Okay, congratulations.
We have 3 lovely sons. One is Curtis is 27, and Sean is 23, and Marlon is 21.
Okay.
And they were at home.
Life is going great.
Yes,
Say hello to your wife and children now.
Hi. Love you.
All
yes,
right. So Tony, thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
To be here.
All right.
Thank
So if you're going through something similar, you need help, then stay tuned, because after the break, we're going to have Pastor Edward, who will be with me, and we'll be praying for you. You can still give us a call if you would like some advice or like to include your name in the prayer. We'll see you after this.
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
Back to Finding Answers. Now, I have with me Pastor Edward. Good evening, Pastor Edward.
Good evening.
How are you? Okay?
Good.
Now, listen, I just want to share with you some ancient biblical text related to this topic. Look what it says here. There is no temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. So that's saying there, what it's saying there is that when that you are tempted, when Julien was tempted to cheat or to send that text and start the ball rolling, he could have said no. There was strength there. He could have decided to say no, which he did, but then he didn't keep on doing it. He didn't persevere.
Yeah, and this strength, Michael, is the mind, is the power of reasoning. I believe that a lot of it has to do with a person acting over what they know or over what they feel.
Right.
Because most people are aware of the consequences of the temptations, both emotional and rational. But people who are more rational, they tend to, no, this is really going to hurt me. Whereas the others who just, where their feelings prevail, no, they just want that feeling, and later on, because of that small pleasure, a long, damage, a long time of consequences. So this is the instrument he gave us, the mind, the ability to think, the reason.
And there's a big struggle between the mind and the heart. When you use this, so it's easier to fall into temptation. But when you use this and you think of the consequences, then you think, I don't want to go through this pain. I know what could happen at the end. So if you're feeling weak now, Pastor Edward's going to be praying for you. He's going to bless the glass of water to give you that strength so you will not fall into temptation, because you will be tempted. Let's go for the prayer now.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer and include you in the Finding Answers prayer book, send your name and prayer request to prayer@findinganswers.tv.
God, right now, we pray on behalf of people who are watching us, and maybe they have been feeling like they are losing the battle against the temptations, whatever it is, whatever is bringing damage to their life. They need strength. Maybe being weak because of their emotions, acting emotionally, but we all have this strength in us. So I ask you that by blessing this glass with water, my Lord, you may strengthen this person, wherever they are, whatever situation they're going through, to take over control of their emotions and be able to say no to things that are bringing damage to their life, whatever it is. the moment they drink this water, touch their lives. Let there be a difference now, because if they are praying with us, it's because they believe, and all things are possible to those who believe. So we bless this water, and we bless all those who are watching us, and we determine this change. This is what we determine, God. This is what we want. And we thank you because we believe you've answered us. And if you believe in this too, you can say amen and drink the water now.
Okay, that's it. And I believe that through this prayer that Pastor Edward did, God has strengthened you. He is strengthening you. But remember, you have to resist. If you would like to talk with one of us here afterwards, we're going off air now, but you can still talk with one of us for personal prayer or even advice. All right? Till the next time, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.